At the time, the men behind the music, lyricist Alain Boublil and composer Claude Michel Schoenberg, were living in Paris, penning 3-minute pop songs and dreaming of a fuller realization of their talents.
And I went to Paris, and we had a wonderful lunch there.
He said, "You don't realize what you have written." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You don't realize. It's something that if we succeed in making it, I think we could make something that will be unique."
I said, the way it's constructed at the moment is you have to know the source material for it to make sense. I want to write it as a proper musical.
Cameron said, "I want you to do the rewrites of the show," which was very bold, because we were totally unprofessional. But he said, "Your style is the one that I want. I need that style for the show, and only you can do it."
We built it together from that moment on.
Fresh from their success with an epic production of Nicholas Nickleby, Trevor Nunn and John Caird were brought in to direct, while John Napier began work on an ingeniously sculptural set. But who had the skill to reinterpret an entire French musical into English? Cameron's first port of call was poet and theatre critic James Fenton, who worked on the material for 18 months.
I just was getting increasingly anxious that I hadn't seen a first draft. I'd seen bits and pieces, but nothing that you could judge. So finally, we did have a full script from him, and it was full of brilliant, brilliant writing, because he's a brilliant writer. However, it was entirely untheatrical.
The structure was sound, but the words were dramatically unplayable. With just 4 months to go before opening night, Cameron approached lyricist and critic number 2. Herbert Kretzmer was a man who knew the meaning of a tight deadline.
I jumped at it. I've been waiting all my life for an opportunity like that.
Herbert would add an hour of new material to the original French show.
I wrote the show according to what appealed to me immediately. The first song that appealed to me immediately was a song called Master of the House.
Here we go, charging for the lice.
It struck me as the most amusing song in a show notoriously short of laughs.
3% for sleeping with the window shut. When it comes to fixing prices, there are lots of tricks he knows. How it all increases, all the bits and pieces. Jesus, it's amazing how it grows.
Cameron knew exactly what he wanted. He also knew what he didn't want. He was a very hands-on producer.
Les Miserables opened at the Barbican in October 1985.
At the end of the day, you're another day colder. And the shirt on your back doesn't keep out the chill. And the righteous hurry past.
It was one of the most amazing nights of my life. And 2 hours later, when the press came in, I did the fateful thing of walking down, reading terrible review after terrible review.
We got a very bad review from the Daily Mail, who threw caution to the winds and really blasted the show and called it the Glums.
But the public loved it.
It was tremendous. Did you? Yes. You enjoyed it? Very much indeed.
I think this is absolutely marvellous theatre, just wonderful theatre.
One of the best we've ever seen.
Complete breakthrough in the theatre because it's just a musical and opera together with so much message in it. And I think it's just absolutely fantastic.
Magnifique.
And you're French, so...
Je suis française. Did you see them going off to fight? Children of the
the barricade who didn't last the night.
The audience love it. They come back again and again. I mean, at the moment, Les Miserables, in its 33rd year in London, has, apart from Hamilton, the biggest advance of any of the shows in my theatres.
Has it been on every year during that period?
Yes, 8 times a week.
While Cameron was working on Les Mis, he got a call from Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was keen to co-produce a musical about a disfigured genius who falls hopelessly in love with an opera singer.
I was sitting in the bath one day, and one morning, and Andrew says, "Cameron, what do you think about us doing Phantom of the Opera? Wouldn't it be fun for us to produce that?" I went, that's quite an interesting idea. And we agreed that what we wanted was to do a musical romance, a Gothic romance, because of what Andrew was doing at the time during this year musically. His father, Bill, had died, and he wrote the wonderful Requiem in memory of his father, and in the doing so was discovering the extraordinary range of Sarah Brightman's voice.